It is the one thing that I set out to do that I was like, I'm going to take this chance. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. And that's like a really big step because I like structure. I like things to be like 100%. But I was like, sometimes you have to take a risk in life. And I feel like the risk is paid off. It's been hard. It's not just like super easy, but you have to be willing to like follow your dream. My husband said, you have 1 year to like get it together and then you're going back to work. So kind of supportive. Um, I don't think everybody thought I was really that I was serious. I think they were just like, oh my God, she's having a breakdown and she's decided to like go make cake. This is crazy. Teresa will like get over it and go back to just doing her regular job. Um, my family is very supportive. Like they help me. I have 3 kids, so they help me with the kids. And when stuff happens and I have big orders, sometimes my brother will help. So they're there. But I think it was really, I think the person who took it the hardest was my mom. She was like devastated. Not devastated, but like we're West Indian. And she was just like, so let me understand this. I sent you to college and you're going to go bake cake. What do you mean? Like, you mean every day you just make cake? This is crazy. So I think for her, it was like a big, like, who does this? Why would you do this? But now she's fine. In March, we were doing really well. We had the best beginning of the year that we've ever had, which is crazy because the beginning of the year, people don't go to bakeries because they're on diets. But they were good. This year was good. But then, like the beginning of March, around the time you guys probably stopped going to school, everything just came to a screeching halt. People were canceling stuff, then they shut everything down. And it was a little like, you know, like it all just went away. What am I doing? This is crazy. If I had a 9 to 5 job, I could probably work from home and it would, be fine. But it, it, so like I didn't bake for like 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. And I bake something every day usually. That's what, like the nature of my business. It's something I love. And I stopped baking. And I just was like, I just stopped doing everything for the business. And I was literally like, if I stay, if I stay still long enough, this will like pass. But then when it wasn't passing, I was like, you know what? I gotta figure out how to keep this going. I gotta figure out like when this is over, what am I gonna do? Um, and then in May of this year, I got COVID-19. I got really, really sick. Scared me so bad. Like I've never been sick like that in my life. And like I have 3 little kids, and all I kept thinking about was like, oh my God, I got to get through this. And when I started getting better, and then I was better, I was like, oh, I have to keep going. Like I beat COVID-19. This really made me start to think about contingency plans. And like, if something happens, how are we going to get through it? So I think it has taught us to be more resilient and be able to really like work through many different obstacles and not just be afraid to like jump in. And like during COVID, we don't know what's going on, but you got to try. And if that doesn't work, you pivot and you do something else. So I didn't know how to dance before, but now I'm learning to dance. Like we just keep changing as the times change. And personally, I feel like after I got sick, it was really an eye opener. Like I have so many things to live for, and it just made me want to live the best life that I can. Make sure that I pay it forward and give back, and that like the time I have here, that I'm like making the best of it, and that I leave a legacy that you know, people want to like continue. It's important to me. I'm hoping that we will get into our own brick and mortar space by the end of this. So we currently bake out of Commonwealth Kitchen, which is a shared kitchen space. And before this, we were looking to get into our own space, and we're hoping by the time the pandemic is over, we have set up shop in our own little home, and we're doing well. It's funny because everybody says they want to make it out the hood. They want to um, you know, like, oh, if I lived in Newton, if I lived here, but this is where I grew up. I grew up right here in Dorchester. I ended up going to college in New York. Got my bachelor's. I have a master's in communication. I got that at 23. And you know what? I had the opportunity to live other places than here, but I love where I live. Like, this is my community. These are my people. My kids go to Boston Public School, and I love the school that they go to. And if there is something about your community that bothers you, that you don't like, you work on making that better. Sometimes you can't always just run away from your problems, or you can't just say, this is a bad neighborhood. And for me, like, there are things that we still need to work on here in Dorchester, and that's fine, but I'm willing to put the work in to make it a better place, not only for myself and my children, but for my community. Like, the streets of Dorchester raised me, and guess what? I turned out okay.